proseso at sistema. Isa sa priority ni Pangulong Duterte ay mas mapabilis pa ang proseso at sistema ng serbisyo na inilalaan ng pamahalaan sa taong bayan. Kaya naman, naisa batas ang Republic Act 1132 o ang Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Service Delivery Act noong 2018. At para mas malaman pa natin kung paano tayo natutulungan ng batas na ito at sino-sino ang nasa likod ng implementasyon nito, ay makakapanayam natin si Director Ana Inilagua mula sa DILG Bureau of Local Government Development. Naisa batas ang Republic Act 1132 o ang Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Service Delivery Act noong 2018. Hi, Director Ana. So, bago po natin alamin kung paano nga ba ginagawa ang ease of doing business at paano ito nakakatulong sa ating mamamayan, gusto lang po namin malaman kung ano nga po ba ang function ng BLGD as a bureau.
Ang Bureau of Local Government Development ng DILG is one of the staff bureau of the DILG. Kami yung in charge of the formulation of programs, policies, and standards for local government units. We also do capacity building for local government units so that they can deliver the services to their constituently efficiently and effectively.
Can you further enlighten us po dun sa RA 11032? According sa knowledge namin, ay mas nagpapabilis ng proseso at saka yung sistema ng pagpapahatid ng serbisyo sa mga local government units. Ano-ano po ba yung mga provisions ng batas na ito na dapat alam at nakikita ng mamamayan?
Meron tayong bagong batas ngayon para tugunan nga itong improving business in the Philippines. Ito yung RA 11032, ito yung Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Service Delivery Act. Maraming provisions dito ay tugon at para ma-improve ang business climate in the Philippines. Una, yung re-engineering of their systems and procedure. Kailangan tingnan, aralin nila para mas ma-improve at mas mapilis ang mga kanilang mga serbisyo. Pangalawa, provision ng the Citizen Charter. Kailangan i-update nila yung kanilang Citizen Charter so that they can provide services in accordance with the timelines provided under the law na sinasabi. Kapag simple transaction, kailangan 3 days lang ito. Pagka complex transaction, may labas nila within 7 days. Pag highly technical, 20 days. Pangatlong provision ay ang zero contact policy kung saan gusto nating iwasan na ang face-to-face transaction ng mga kliyente to the government. Maaring mangyari kung ang government transaction are fully automated at saka online. Pang-apat, yung pag-streamline ng mga procedures, particularly sa business transactions ng local government units. Kailangan ang application for the business permit ay gumagamit ng isang unified form. There should also be a business one-stop shops in the local government units kung saan nandun lahat ng mga serbisyo na kailangan ng isang private sector.
Ano po yung magiging consequences ng mga offenses na ito kapag na-commit po siya ng mga government entities against their clients?
Under the law, there are two-strike policy. Very strict ang law na for the first offense, if they are really found guilty after several validation, ang penalty nito ay 6-month suspension from office without salary. Second offense, kung umulit pa siya of the same violation, ang kanyang penalty will be removal from office without any retirement and possibly payment of penalty of around 500,000 to 2 million pesos. So, both criminal and administrative liability.
Kinino po ba pwedeng lumapit yung mga kliyente ng LGUs if in case meron silang complaints regarding sa, kunwari, hindi na process according dun sa, di ba isa po dun sa mga provisions ay reduced processing time. Kinino po sila pwedeng lumapit?
Una, pwede silang tumawag sa 888 ng Civil Service Commission at pwede rin silang dumiretso sa ARTA, the Anti-Red Tape Authority, kasi meron na din silang hotline. At pwede rin naman silang lumapit, particularly yung complaints sa local government units, pwede rin silang lumapit sa DILG, meron kaming DILG Help Desk.
Ano na naman po yung initiatives, kumbaga, ng ating departamento kung paano natin matutulungan pa yung mga LGUs to become more competitive in terms of business?
Marami na tayong ginawa, no, way back siguro 2010, pero ito recently, 2016, kami nagsimula ng mga massive campaign for improving doing business in the localities. Meron tayong policy and capacity building para sa local government units to improve and streamline their services for the business permitting process. Kasunod ito or tugon doon sa joint memorandum circular inisyu ng DILG kasama ang DTI at saka ang DICT on the revised standards for the issuance of the business permit. Dito isinasaad kung gaano ka na dapat 2 araw lamang ang pag-issue ng business permit.
Ano po yung gusto nyo maging mensahe sa ating mga stakeholders, ika nga yung mga LGUs, mga investors natin, at saka syempre sa public?
The LGU should start pre-engineering process in their local government units, particularly now that there are a new set of local officials who will be taking oath in June 30. Sa atin namang private sector, we appeal to them, they be patient in the reforms that we are doing in the local government units, as well as provide feedback on how to further improve the services to them and the activities or the processes that the local government units has been implementing.
I am reiterating my directive to all government agencies from frontline services to our people to further streamline the respective services to make these truly efficient and people-friendly. We want to ensure that our people receive the quality services that they deserve, minus the delays by the bureaucratic red tape.
Ayan. So, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. So, time check po, it's already 8:29 in the morning. So, we will be starting our activity po at exactly 8:30 in the morning. So, while waiting po, we would like to remind everyone to please follow these training reminders. So, please change your username po in this format. So, LGU, province underscore name. So if I am from Ojongan Romblon po, I would rename my Zoom name into Ojongan Romblon underscore Juan de la Cruz. And kapag hindi po tayo nagsasalita, if you are not talking po, we would like to request everyone din po to please mute your microphones para po hindi natin ma-distract yung atin pong mga resource speakers during their discussions, and turn off your videos po. So kindly accomplish din po yung ating attendance form na naka-chat na po sa ating Zoom chat box, or you may type it po sa inyong browser. So this attendance form po can be accessed at bit.ly/attendance BPCO 2021. So time check, it's already 8:30 in the morning. So we would like to invite everyone to please settle down and let us all put ourselves into the holy presence of the Lord.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of good health and peace that we have enjoyed for so many years. As we find ourselves in this time of crisis today, we ask for your divine intervention and mercy to be upon each of us. Come and guide the minds of those working to discover a treatment to the COVID-19 virus. Grant them wisdom, knowledge, and clarity of mind, so that all peoples will be free from the threat of this ailment. We also pray for the healthcare workers that are standing in the front line of this battle. Father, we thank you for their hearts of service, putting the needs of society before their own, generously responding to the cry of your people. We ask that you will grant them strength and protection as they give of themselves in selfless service. May you fill them with your Holy Spirit as they work to be your healing hands and feet. Father, we also surrender to you all those who have been afflicted with the virus. Grant them your healing grace, merciful Father, so that they may recover swiftly and continue to be witnesses of your love in their lives. Mother Mary, we ask for your intercession in this great time of need. Cover each of us with your blue mantle of protection, so that we may be preserved in good health to continue to glorify your Son, Jesus Christ. We make this prayer through Christ our Savior and Redeemer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And so thank you very much po. And yan, good morning everyone. I am LGOO2 Ivy Dayan Piramide of DILG Mimaropa, and welcome po to the second day of our training rollout on the Streamlining Business Permits and Certificate of Occupancy for the LGUs. So just a brief recap lang po nung ating mga naging kaganapan kahapon. Nagkaroon po tayo ng, kung ating maaalala, meron po tayong 5 discussions po kahapon, which include po dyan yung ating presentation of salient features of our EODB or slash ARTA law. And this was presented to us po by our Local Government Operations Officer 3 or the regional focal person po ng EODB dito po sa DILG Mimaropa. This was presented by Ma'am Chelsea Tamayo. Ayan. The second po is nagkaroon din po tayo ng discussion ng salient features of the Joint Memorandum Circular 2018-01 or the Streamlining Building Permit and Certificate of Occupancy. So this was presented and discussed to us po by also our regional focal person for EODB, LGUO for Rayan Maranan. So nagkaroon din po tayo ng discussion regarding po dun sa ating complementary reform, one-stop shop for construction permitting or yung ating pong OSCP, which was presented and discussed to us po by Engineer Rostico Constantino ng LGU Santa Cruz, Marinduque. So nagkaroon din po tayo ng discussion. So regarding naman po sa building permit process flow and general task in the OSCP, this is discussed to us po by Engineer Pacifico Setias III from Puerto Princesa City. So nagkaroon din po tayo ng sharing of experiences po from Puerto Princesa and Santa Cruz, Marinduque. And lastly po, yung pinakahuli po nating naging topic kahapon before po tayo mag-end ay yung discussion po on the fire safety evaluation clearance for building permit and the fire safety inspection certificates or the FSEC and FSIC process flow po, which was presented to us po by Inspector John Mark Babas and Fire Officer 3 Mary Grace Ray of the Bureau of Fire Protection, Mimaropa. Para malaman po namin kung meron po talagang kayong natutunan or na-retain po doon po sa ating 5 discussions kahapon, I will be turning over the virtual floor po to Ma'am Che Martinez for a recap game of our activity for today. Over to you po, Ma'am Che.
Hello, good morning, Ma'am Ivy. Can you hear me po? Loud and clear?
Yes po, Ma'am Che. Loud and clear po.
Ayan. So let me just share my screen po. Ayan. Can you see my screen na po, Ma'am Ivy?
Yes, ma'am. We can see it na po.
Okay, thank you. So our game po, slash recap for today, has something to do with the movie location. So the mechanics of the game would be, I'll be showing po a picture of a movie, a screenshot, one of the parts of the movie, and then you have to guess po kung anong country shoot yung film or some parts of the film. These are all Filipino movies po shot abroad. And then after that is kung sino po yung makakahula sa ating chat box, the first one to get the answer correctly would have the chance po to answer our recap question. So if nasagot po yung country, that is 1 point. And if masagot din po yung recap question natin, additional 3 points. So pag hindi po masagot yung ating recap question, may chance po yung others to steal for 3 points. So there will be 6 questions all in all, and the winner will receive tumataginting na 100 peso load. Ayan. So ready na po ba tayo for our recap game for today? Can I see po, may I request thumbs up sa ating mga participants for this morning? Okay, so I think ready na po tayo. So I'll just ask po some assistance from our training management team para po sa mga makakakuha ng sagot. Okay, so let's move to our first question. So ito po. Ayan, saan pong bansa sinut ang film na ito? Ayan, may nakakuha na po ba ng tamang sagot? Kailangan po tama yung sagot, ha? Ma'am Ivy?
Yes po, Ma'am Che. Santa Fe, Romblon, answered po, specific po, Nami Island, South Korea.
Wow, talagang parang fan din ito siya ng mga Korean. Okay, so sige na. Tatanggapin natin yung Nami Island, South Korea, but the correct answer is South Korea. It is My X and Y's ni Enrique Hill and Liza Soberano. So ito po, can we ask po yung Santa Fe, LGU and DILG Santa Fe to unmute and then answer po yung ating first question. Are you ready po? Naka-unmute na po ba ang ating DILG and LGU Santa Fe from Blon?
Ayan, LGU and DALG Santa Fe, Romblon, you may unmute na po.
Pwede rin po na i-chat nyo lang din yung answer ninyo. Okay, so here is the question po. So give one violation of RA 11032 Section 21 that can result to administrative and criminal liability. So there are 8 po. So just give one.
Next question. Violation. Iskan isa.
O bawal po mag-cheat. Ayan, just give one violation po that can result dun sa penalties and sanctions. Galing po ito sa discussion ni Ma'am Rayan kahapon. Ni Ma'am Chelsea. Let's count down siguro. 5.
I think they are answering po, Ma'am Che, but we can't hear it po clearly. LGU and DILG Santa Fe.
Sige po. Ano po yun?
Failure or refusal to issue official receipt.
Okay. So failure or refusal to give official receipts. So correct po. So there are 8. So ayan po. Violations. So 4 points po for DILG and LGU Santa Fe, Romblon. Okay. So next question po. Ayan. Saang bansa naman po ito? Ay, wow. Parang mahilig sa movie ang LGU, mga taga Romblon. So
Yes
from
po.
LGU, San Agustin, Romblon, Iceland. Correct. Ito po ay from the movie Through Night and Day. Naiyak din po ba kayo nung pinanood nyo ito? Anyway, so LGU San Agustin, you can unmute po and then answer this question. Ayan. So, there are 4 steps po in securing building permit and certificate of occupancy. Ano po yung dalawang question mark? Yung step 2 and step 3. Hello po, LGU San Agustin. Or you can type in po your answer. Verification and payment. Tama po ba, Ma'am Ivy? Parang may mali.
Yes po. Medyo,
Yes.
medyo lumihis lang doon sa mga tamang sagot po natin na nakalista ngayon dito sa atin ngayon.
Okay. So, others have a chance to steal po. Ano po yung step 2 and step 3? So, meron pong 1 point yung LGU San Agustin. So, other participants po can steal. So, sino po yung next na nagbigay ng tamang sagot na Iceland? Mukhang wala.
Wala po, Ma'am Che.
So, tingnan natin dito kung sino yung sumagot ng tama sa ating chat box. So, LGU Santa Fe, assessment and payment. Wala pa pong nakakakuha ng sagot actually. So, ano po yung step 2 and step 3? Okay,
So,
si FO3 Mark Soledad. Kulang sir. Ano yung step 3? Step 2? O sige, sabihin natin tama na yung step 2 ni Sir Mark. Ano yung step 3? Okay, so we have a winner po for 3 points. So FO3 Mark Joseph Soledad, order of payment and payment of receipt, order of payment and payment of fees and charges. So tatanggapin na natin yung order of payment and payment of fees. So ito po yung ating step 2 and step 3. So step 2 is receipt of the order of payment and step 3 is payment of fees and charges. So as of now, meron po tayong recap lang po tayo ng scores. So GV, LGU Santa Fe, NDILG 4 points, LGU San Agustin 1 point, and FO3 Mark Soledad 3 points. So next question po tayo. Ito naman po, saan? John Lloyd Cruz and Bea Alonso. And Sarah Geronimo pala. Sorry naman. Saang bansa po ito sinut? London? Hindi po. UK? Hindi rin. It takes a man and a woman po ito. Singapore? May snow ba sa Singapore? So may clue tayo dyan sa picture. May nababasa ba kayong pangalan dyan sa picture? Hindi rin po France, hindi rin Switzerland. Ayan, from Quezon, Palawan. Si Ma'am Maricel Servando. It's from the USA, specifically sa New York. Ang movie ay It Takes a Man and a Woman. So, kung hindi po kaya mag-unmute, just type in your answer po dito sa ating recap question. From Ma'am Maricel Servando. From Quezon, Palawan. Ayan. So, ang question po natin, in the OSCP layout, give 2 windows or desks that are visible in the public area. So, meron po tayong 4 na windows or desks that are visible sa ating public area or for the clients. Ano po, just give 2. Ma'am Maricel? Siguro we'll give her 5 seconds. Kung hindi, mayroong chance to steal ang Santa Fe. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5? Joke lang. Okay, 1. So wala po tayong narinig na sagot from Ma'am Maricel. So probably we'll give the chance to steal to Santa Fe Romblon, who answered USA also. Ayan. Ano po, just give 2 windows or desks. Okay, so payment area and permits releasing area. Correct po. Ito po yung ating 4 windows that are available to our clients. So meron tayong application receiving area, assessment releasing area, and sabi nga po from Santa Fe, payment area and releasing area. Okay, so next question po. Ayan, saan naman po ito?
Barcelona. Wait lang,
Di, sino na nga ito siya? Catherine Bernardo at yung ano po dapat, country. Ayan, from LGU San Agustin, Spain. Ang title po ng movie ay Barcelona, pero ang nanap natin ay country. So the country is Spain. Tada! Okay, so LGU San Agustin. Tama ba, Ma'am Ivy? Oh, sayang yung LGU Corcuera, nagsobra ng O.
Yeah, tama po. LGU San Agustin Romblon.
Okay, ito po yung question natin for San Agustin. So, ayan po. Guess the part of, in the suggested OSCP po natin, ano po yung part na yan? Na anong part ng backroom natin yung naka-question mark. LGU San Agustin, you can unmute po or type in your answer. Anong area po iyan? 5 seconds. Assessment area. Wrong answer. Joke. Ayan. Siguro we'll give the chance po to the next participant who got the correct answer. GV, LGU, DILG, Santa Fe. You can unmute po.
Plan evaluation area.
Okay, very good. So this is the plan evaluation area. Ayan. Yung assessment area po, ayan siya, nasa center. Okay, so next question po. So ngayon po, wow, parang DILG, LGU, Santa Fe, Romblon, parang 10 points na sila, pero katuwaan na lang. Next question, ayan. Saang bansa po ito? Chinook. Isa rin sa mga napakagandang move recently, Philippine move. Saan po ito? Netherlands. Mukha ba siyang Netherlands? Oo nga, pero hindi po. Amsterdam, hindi rin. Ang title po ng movie na ito is, pag sinabi ko, baka magets niya na. Pero ang title po niya ay hindi, yung na lang, lead actors. Si Alessandra De Rossi and si Empoy. Wala pa rin. Sige, ang title ng movie is Kita Kita. Asia lang po yan siya. Hindi siya sa hindi siya sa European country. Korea, hindi rin po. Hindi rin po China, hindi rin po Hong Kong. Isa na lang, magigets na. Japan! Okay, from DILG San Jose, Romblon, si Sir Henry, Japan. Kita, kita, ayan. Specifically, nag-shoot sila most of the time sa Sapporo. So, Sir Henry, ito po yung inyong question. Ayan, madali lang, sir. What is EPSEC? You can unmute po or type in your answer, Sir Henry. Ayan, Fire Safety Evaluation Certificate. Ay, hindi pala siya yung sumagot. Sir Henry, 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we'll give the chance po sa next na Sir Henry. Sir Henry na po ba ito?
Nasagot na, ma'am.
Ay, sorry. Sorry naman.
Ayun na yung sagot, ma'am. Fire safety.
Ay, mali yan, sir.
Mali ba yun?
Opo. May isang word na mali.
Clearance, ma'am. Fire safety evaluation clearance.
Ayan. Congratulations po. Nasagot niyo ang FSEC. So, Fire Safety Evaluation Clearance. Yung certificate po, dun po yun sa FSEC. Okay, last question po. Ayan, saan po ito? Nabanggit na po yung country na ito kanina. Country, yes, it is a country. Si Alden Richards at si Catherine Bernardo. Singapore. Ayan, meron po nakakuha ng sagot from LGU San Agustin, Romblon, Hong Kong. So ito po yung ating question from to LGU San Agustin, Romblon. Ayan po. Hello, love, goodbye, Hong Kong. Ito po yung question. What is the maximum floor area for simple transactions? 120? Maximum po. Yung next, okay, mali po yung sagot ng San Agustin, 120. So yung next po natin nakakuha ng tamang sagot is LGU DILG Santa Fe. So ang answer po nila dito sa chat box ay 1,500 square meters, which is the correct answer. So overwhelmingly, I think dahil sila ay naka-group viewing ba ito? Kaya bonggang-bongga ang kanilang mga sagot from LGU Santa Fe and DILG. Tama po ba, Ma'am Ivy? Ilan ang score nila?
Ayun. Hello, Ma'am Chess. Sila din po ba ang nakakuha ng ating 1,500 square meter?
Yes po. Ang 1 point po is
Okay.
DILG Romblon. Yung 3 points po is for Santa Fe.
Yan. So, I will be chatting the final scores po natin for
Ayan.
GV ng LGU and DILG Santa Fe Romblon. Meron po silang 13 points. For LGU San Agustin Romblon, kay Sir Neil Faigao, meron pong 1 point. Kay Sir Mark naman po, Mark Joseph F. Solidad, 3 points. Ma'am Maricel Servando, 1 point. LGU San Agustin Romblon with 2 points and DILG San Jose Romblon with 4 points. So congratulations po sa GV, LGU, and DILG Santa Fe Romblon for earning 13 points. So kindly coordinate with us po or PM us kung ano po yung contact number na pagsesendan po namin ng inyong 100 pesos na load. So Smart and Globe prepaid load po ang available ngayon na amin pong ibibigay. So kindly coordinate with us po. So thank you very much po with that recap game, Ma'am Che. Ayan. So to start our discussion po this morning, we will be having 2 resource speakers po for this morning. But before that po, we encourage everyone to ask questions in our chat box, or you may raise your hand po after the discussion of each resource speakers in order for us po na ma-acknowledge kayo. So if you have questions po, for example, namuni-muni nyo na or napagnilay-nilayan nyo na yung discussion po kahapon, and if you still have questions regarding po dun sa mga naging discussion po natin kahapon, Feel free po to chat your questions sa atin pong chat box. Nandito pa po yung mga resource speakers natin kahapon to clarify and to answer po yung inyong mga questions. So wag po kayong mahihiya na itanong yung inyong pong mga concerns para po masagot po natin kaagad yan. So habang nandito pa po tayo sa ating activity for today. So to start our discussion po this morning, let me present to you po or let me give the virtual floor po ulit sa amin pong EODB Regional Focal Person ng DILG Mimaropa, LGUO Foray and May P. Maranan for her discussion on the integration of barangay clearance to LGU permitting processes. Over to you po, Ma'am Rayan.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, Ma'am Rayan, loud and clear po.
Okay, so let us start po yung ating discussion. Yan. Okay, so sa ating pong, once again po, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. So yun nga po, we hope na naging fruitful po yung ating discussion yesterday. So basically nga po, I will be discussing yung standard reforms in integrating yung ating barangay clearance sa LGU permitting process. So nabanggit nga po natin ito yesterday din dun sa discussion ng EODP law. So let us just go back din po sa ating mga background po, sa background ng ating So, una po sa lahat, ang ating nga pong basis dito is that President Duterte's 0+10 socio-economic agenda, which includes po una yung sa increasing competitiveness and ease of doing business. Pangalawa, gusto niya daw po ng people-centered, clean, efficient, at saka effective na governance. At syempre, ang ating EODB law din ay provides for more accessible po ng mga government services through yung reduced documentary requirements, processing time, and yung signatories natin sa ating mga transactions. Particularly nga po dito sa ating discussion, yung sa streamlining ng building permit and certificate of occupancy. And lastly is the one whole of government approach. So whole of government approach, meaning lahat po working together, which promotes din po ng pag-simplify ng mga government transactions. Kasama na rin po yung pagiging interoperability ng bawat unit sa ating government agency or sa ating local government unit. Kasama na rin po dun yung sa processes as well as magkaroon po ng strengthened linkage and coordination among agencies and among offices. So next po is ano nga ba yung legal basis nito? So first is yung the EODB law po natin. So andyan nga po sa section 11 states po na yung ating barangay clearances and yung ating permits ay isi-streamline po or integrate na po natin na ang mga applied, issued, and collected po nating mga barangay clearances will be released at the city or municipal level, and yung share po ng ating mga barangays would be collected and remitted po to the respective barangays natin. Next po is yung ating DILG, DTI, DICT-JMC number 1 series of 2016 or yung ating revised standards in processing yung ating po mga business permit and licenses in all cities and municipalities. So ang covered po nitong ating streamlining o yung ating integration ng ating barangay clearance is only for the purpose po ng business permitting and licensing and yung sa ating building permit and certificate of occupancy. So going further po, according to section 6.8.1 is yung integration nga po ng barangay clearance in the business permit process ay those related na barangay clearance po in doing business may be applied, issued, and collected at the city or municipality. And yun nga po, further strengthening yung provision po ng Section 11 sa ating EODB law. Further, yun din po yung sinasabi ng ating DILG, DPWH, DICT, DTI-JMC number 2018-01 or yung ating nga pong guidelines in streamlining the processes for the issuance ng ating building permits and certificates of occupancy. So in the process daw po ng ating locational clearance, ay meron po dapat arrangement ang ating punong barangay and our city or municipal mayor, ating local chief executive, na allowed po ang ating mga officials sa ating city or municipal level to collect po yung barangay fees related doon sa mga building permits and yung sa locational clearance applications. And yun nga po, we said na upon collection, they will remit this to the concerned barangays. Right. So, ano nga po rin ba? Another is yung assessment naman po. So, the zoning officer and yung BFP and the OBO shall put in place po ano po yung mga kinakailangang measures para ma-implement natin yung one-time assessment of building-related fees and charges. Nakasama na nga po yung fees para sa locational clearance at kasama na rin po yung sa barangay clearance, filing fee kung meron man po, as prescribed or described din po sa section 6.1.17. So sinasabi nga po dito na dapat po kapag nirelease yung for payment ng ating applicant or ng ating client ay included na po lahat ng possible niyang babayaran. And doon din po sa payment, kasama na nga rin po sa required fees natin. Ayun nga po ang ating ina-emphasize ay one-time assessment and one-time payment of fees. So, ano po ba yung mga standard reforms natin? Pero una po ay advice according din po sa ating advisory dated ng March 19, 2021, yun po sa pag-reiterate po ng ating memorandum circular number 2019-17 or yung atin pong guidelines in the integration of the issuance of the barangay clearance in the permitting processes of cities and municipalities. And yung pong DILG-DOF Joint Memorandum Circular number 2019-01 or yung ating guidelines for the review, adjustment, setting, and or adoption of reasonable regulatory fees and charges of our local government unit. So yun nga po yung talagang further na pinapa-strengthen and binibigyang focus po ng ating para sa ating mga LGUs is to really integrate na po yung ating barangay clearance sa mga permitting process natin. Okay, so ang applicability niya nga po, ang barangay clearance po would be integrated na po. So sa locational, along with the locational clearance and the new business permit, without po yung certificate of occupancy dito, and then the renewal of business permits. Okay, so standard reforms po natin, no? So integration nga po nung ating integration po ng ating barangay clearance in the order of payment. So barangay clearance fees shall be integrated and in the one-time payment of fees and charges for business or building permits in accordance din po dun sa submitted po na barangay ordinance. The next po is yung remittance nung ating barangay clearance fees. So they shall remit po the LGU, the city or municipal LGU shall remit to the barangay concerned po yung kanilang collected fees on the 7th day of the ensuing month. So dapat po a week after po ng end ng month ay mai-remit na po natin sa mga barangays yung collected po na fees nila with regard po doon sa building permit and business permits po. Next is yung collection nga rin po ng barangay clearance fees. So, collection at the city or municipal level. So that's what we are really emphasizing. As well as po, the fourth is yung issuance na po ng barangay clearance itself. So ang atin po mga barangay clearance would be issued na po, not at the barangay level. Kumbaga sila na po ang bahalang mag-usap, ang barangay and ang ating city or municipal level. But doon na po natin ma-i-issue po ito at the BOSS at saka sa OSCP. So sa BOSS po ang ating business one-stop shop and yung ating one-stop shop for construction permits. Okay. So ano naman po yung roles and responsibilities natin? So sa city or municipal level, they shall provide po ang necessary space and equipment for the representative of the barangays in the one-stop shop to facilitate the issuance ng barangay clearance or co-location. So hindi naman po necessary talaga na 24/7 or rather during working hours ay talaga nandun po sila. They can just come po kapag may concern po sa specific barangays po nila. And the barangay representative will co-locate at the one-stop shop to facilitate nga po yung application ng for business or building permit kung nagpo-conform po doon sa barangay land use or kung wala pong issues sa barangay. And then, of course, facilitate po yung issuance ng barangay clearance. Next po is ano naman po yung role ng ating roles and responsibilities ng ating barangays. So I believe may mga kasama po tayong mga punong barangay dito. So maganda pong malaman din natin ano po yung role natin dito sa integration ng barangay clearance sa LGU permitting process. So una nga po, kayo pa rin naman po ang mag-i-issue po ng barangay ordinance consolidating all fees and charges related po doon sa business and building permits. Para po yun ang gagawing basis ng ating mga city or municipal LGUs para po sa i-collect nilang fees and charges. And at the same time po, yun po ang kanilang i-remit sa inyong level ng 7th day of every month or a week after po ng end of the month. So all barangays din po in the city or municipality ay magse-select po ng kanilang representative to be assigned po doon sa one-stop shop para po makapag-facilitate ng issuance of barangay clearance or kung ano man po yung arrangement po ng ating LGU with the barangay. Next po, if necessary, kung halimbawa pong merong perceived issues or kailangan po ng assistance, they shall join ang zoning officer po sa pag-conduct ng visit or ng inspection po related nga po doon sa issuance ng barangay clearance. So minsan po kasi may mga issue daw on the right of way or other concerns po. So yun po yung ma-resolve po before the issuance of the barangay clearance. And next po is yung the issuance itself ng ating barangay clearance para po doon sa mga applicants through the city or municipality in accordance nga rin po doon sa processing time na nakaset po sa ating EODB law. And so kami naman po sa DILG, we also have a role in this. So ang aming central office po shall be issuing or they issued the guidelines on the barangay integration. Sila din po yung nagpo-provide ng capacity building sa mga DILG regional offices sa ating mga guidelines. And sila rin po ang prepare ng monitoring tool. So we will be discussing this din po, kung ano yung tool na ito. Later on, I will give you a brief preview or background on this. And then, submit reports po ng ating EODB or AGSD authority sa Secretariat po in compliance nga po sa ating Section 11, which is yung integration nga po ng ating barangay clearance sa LGU permitting processes. So kami naman po sa regional office, ito pong ating ginagawa na we are providing you po the capacity building or technical assistance po necessary para naman po ma-implement po ninyo at your level ang ating JMC and ang provisions po ng ating integration. And of course, submission din nga po ng quarterly report regarding LGU's compliance to the reform. So similar po doon sa monitoring tool sa compliance on barangay integration, we will be further discussing it po. Then next, ano po ba yung process flow pagdating po sa business permit? So una po is application at the one-stop shop, yung ating business one-stop shop or yung ating boss. And then po, this is specific po sa ating barangay clearance. And then po, kapag na-receive na po yung application, it will be endorsed sa barangay representative po doon sa ating one-stop shop so that the concerned barangay will be informed regarding the application. And then if necessary nga po, mag-conduct po ng site visit ang ating barangays together with the zoning officer. And the barangay shall inform the barangay representative sa OSS naman po regarding sa findings of the application. So pag gano'n na po, si representative at the one-stop shop shall prepare na po and send yung barangay clearance if application po ay conforming at wala nga pong deficiencies or issue po ng notice of non-conforming kung meron naman pong naging issue. Next po sa ating process flow then is yung barangay representative naman po at the one-stop shop shall accept po yung findings ng barangay. And then, magpe-prepare po siya ng endorsed order payment to the one-stop shop assessor and yung sa barangay clearance releasing officer. Then, sa one-stop shop po, the assessor shall integrate na nga po yung barangay fees doon sa ating iba pang fees for the one-time assessment and one-time payment. So, andun na nga po yung endorsement sa ating officer of the day para sa order of payment na makikita po ng ating applicant. So, i-issue po ito sa ating applicant at the front line. Then, the cashier or the collecting officer shall collect all payments para po doon sa fees and charges. Kasama na po ang sa barangay clearance fees. And issue po yung permit together with the barangay clearance. So, next naman po is yung sa ating building permit. So basically, the applicant po shall submit yung application form po and all other documents required po sa ating application or sa ating permitting, and then the zoning officer po ay magre-review ng submitted documents. So once that is done po, ay notify na po ni zoning officer yung ating barangay for the proper evaluation and yung sa issuance din po ng ating barangay clearance. So next po doon, sabi nga po natin, the barangay shall join po yung ating zoning officer sa conduct po ng ating preliminary site verification or inspection, and then provide feedback din po sa zoning officer so that yun po yung magiging basis ng ating zoning officer and po OBO assessor to include na po yung ating barangay fees sa ating one-time payment of fees and charges. So, yun nga po, the applicant shall pay the necessary fees applicable and i-release na po ni OBO yung clearance din po together with the barangay clearance. So both ways po sa building and business permit applications ay ganun po yung proseso ng integration ng ating fees and charges. So yun lamang po. Thank you. And if you have questions po, just feel free to ask po. Thank you. Back to you po, Ms. Che.
And thank you very much po, Ma'am Rian, for that concise discussion po ng ating integration of barangay clearance in the business LGU permitting processes. So feel free po sa ating mga participants na nasa atin pong Zoom this morning and nasa atin pong YouTube. Feel free po to chat your questions in our Zoom chat box, or for those participants po na nasa ating YouTube channel, feel free po to send your questions through our comment section sa ating YouTube channel. So you may also raise your hand po dyan po sa ibaba ng inyong screen. Kung makikita ninyo po, meron dyang reactions button. Meron po tayo dyang option na raise hand. So you may raise your hand po so that we can formally acknowledge you, and you can ask your questions po live dun po sa ating mga resource speakers. And so
wala pa namang nagtatanong. I would just like to share din 2 videos na good practices ng ibang LGUs when it comes to the integration process para naman maging guide din ng ating mga participants. So let me just share the screen. So this is from Valenzuela and Parañaque po.
Valenzuela City is the biggest industrial city in the country. Thousands of small, medium, and large-scale businesses can be found here. The city makes doing business as easy as 1, 2, 3. In just 19 to 30 minutes, permits will be released. To be able to serve the business community better, the city government of Valenzuela has integrated the barangay clearance application in the city. Barangays have passed ordinances delegating the issuance of barangay clearance and the collection of the barangay clearance fee to the city. Now, business permit applicants don't have to go to their barangay to apply for their barangay clearance. Just fill out one unified form at the Business Permit and License Office and wait for 19 to 30 minutes for the releasing of the business permit. Applying for a business permit has never been this easy.
As part of the administration's socio-economic agenda on improving competitiveness in the ease of doing business, the local government of Parañaque has institutionalized the Business Permits and Licensing Office as the primary unit responsible for creating a business-friendly environment for local and foreign investors in the city of Parañaque. Before the passage of RA 11032 or the EODB law, the local government has been advocating for development of an innovative and agile business solution to further improve the business permitting process. This leads to the issuance of Executive Order Number 18-14 Series of 2018 to institutionalize the creation and implementation of the Project Express Lane Operation.
ELO for ELO.
The project primarily aims to simplify and integrate business permitting process to enhance business and consumer confidence and improve the delivery of public service. Project ELO employs a whole of local government approach composed of various departments and offices involved in business permitting, such as the Business Permits and Licensing Office, the City Planning and Development Coordinator's Office, the Office of the City Building Official, the City Health Office, the City Treasurer's Office, Liga ng mga Barangay, the Bureau of Fire Protection, the City Environment and Natural Resources Office, and the Philippine National Police. Project ELO boasts of the following salient features: the use of concierge-type arrangement for accepting and releasing business-related documents, use of unified application form and single checklist of documentary requirements, co-location of all departments and offices, including the BFP and the City Treasury, one-time assessment and payment of local taxes, fees, and charges, and simultaneous release of all permits and clearances. Evolving from the traditional business one-stop shop, Project ELO has made business registration in the city of Parañaque more efficient and effective, using innovative business solutions and productivity measures which trim down the business registration process into 3 simple steps. Step 1, application verification and assessment. Step 2, one-time payment. And Step 3, simultaneous release of all permits and clearances. Filling up multiple forms is a thing of the past, as a unified form is utilized to gather necessary information to be used by other departments and offices. Co-location eases the physical and mental burden that applicants go through in registering their business, as customers need not go from one office to another to secure their permits or clearances. One of the milestones of Project ELO is the online integration of barangay clearance, which can now be applied, paid, and issued at the Project ELO concierge. All of the barangays can monitor in real time all applications and payment transactions using an integrated software developed by the IT team of the Project ELO. And the one-time assessment and payment of local taxes, fees, and charges paved the way for the simultaneous release of all permits and clearances. A vision of the Ease of Doing Business Act brought to life by Project ELO.
The Game Changer.
Project ELO 2.0 is a game changer in the reform in the business registration process. It adopts an application tracking system which enables the customers to view the milestones and progress of their application while waiting at the concierge lobby. The document management system ensures that all business-related documents are digitized and stored in a central data bank, which can be conveniently monitored and verified. The city of Parañaque adheres to data protection and privacy of collected information in digitizing the documents. The use of smart kiosk reinvents the customer experience in transacting at the City Hall. The kiosk will enable the applicants to generate their application forms and their respective statements of account. When Mayor Edwin Olivares assumed office in 2013, his brand of public service was anchored on Bagong Parañaque, business-friendly environment, academic excellence, good governance and public order, opportunities for livelihood and housing, nutrition, health and senior citizens' welfare and social services, and God-centered leadership. True to his brand of public service, Mayor Olivares through Project ELO was able to simplify the business registration in the city of Parañaque from 19 steps to 3, This resulted to the increase in the number of registered businesses in the city at 27,000 in 2019. Along with it is an increase in business tax collection from 1 billion in 2013 to 3.5 billion in 2020. This turned the city of Parañaque into a haven of benchmarking activities. Project ELO has been recognized by both national and local government in its effort to undertake drastic reform initiatives on business permitting process. The city of Parañaque intends to enhance the functionalities of the system to be more responsive in the needs of the stakeholders and provide options in other business-related services, especially in this time of pandemic.
ELO 3.0.
To ensure sustainability and continuous improvement of the Project ELO, the city of Parañaque developed the following iterations: simplification of regulatory processes and requirements, the use of digital management tools and applications, automation of business registration process, and application of advanced digital tools and connectivity to the national government portal. In addressing contemporary needs, the city of Parañaque introduced the following innovations in e-governance services: online appointment and scheduling system, online application for new business, online assessment and payment, online courier and delivery service, Express Link Online, and electronic signatures.
ELO 3.1.
Moving forward, the city aims to expand its e-governance services by connecting to the national government portal to realize an end-to-end online business registration. In line with this, the city intends to utilize the following: electronic receipts, electronic permits and licenses, and to connect to the national government portal, like the Central Business Portal, the Philippine Business Data Bank, and the Business Name Registration System, Next Generation. Towards this end, the city of Parañaque commits to the fulfillment of Project ELO in the delivery of public services and contribution to nation building. Project ELO.
Serbisyo lang po.
And so thank you very much po Ma'am Rian for that two videos po ng best practice ng ibang LGUs po sa ating bansa. So meron lang po tayong dalawang questions na privately chat po with us. So yun po sa mga participants natin, pwede niyo pong i-chat sa ating Zoom chat box, or you can privately chat it to me po through our Zoom chat box. So meron po tayong option po dyan that you can chat po. Hanapin nyo lang po yung account ko, DILG Mimaropa_IV Dayan Piramide. So kung medyo nahihiya po kayo na makita siya ng iba, ayan, you can privately chat it to me po para matanong po natin. So meron lang po tayong dalawang questions na nasa atin, na privately sinend sa atin. So first question po natin is, kung meron daw po bang prescribed number of barangay representatives na dapat na nandun po sa ating one-stop shop? Ma'am Ray, nakamute ka po yata, ma'am.
Apologies. Ayun po. So wala naman pong prescribed number of person to man nga po doon or to be a representative doon po sa ating one-stop shop. Siyempre po, kung sino lang din po yung magiging available, dahil alam naman po natin na at the barangay level, marami rin naman po tayong responsibilities. So pagdating po doon sa ating representative, it is really up to the barangay po or sa agreement po ng ating city or municipal LGU at ng barangay kung ano po yung magiging scheme po sa pagtatao po doon sa ating one-stop shop.
Ayun, thank you very much po, Ma'am Ray. And the second question po is that meron daw po bang preferred na representative, for example, kung si barangay secretary or si barangay treasurer, na dapat na nandun po sa one-stop shop?
Po na prescribe the specific person. Once again nga po, it will be up to the arrangement po ng barangay and the city or municipal LGU.
Ayun, thank you very much po Ma'am Rian for answering po yung ating dalawang questions regarding po dun sa integration of the barangay clearance to LGU permitting processes. So before po tayo mag-proceed sa atin pong next resource speaker for this morning, we would like to remind everyone po ulit to please change your username dito po sa ating Zoom. Indicate po yung inyong name ng LGU at kung saang province po kayo located para po malaman namin or para ma-identify po namin ng mabilis mamaya kung saang breakout room po namin kayo dadalhin for our action planning. So if you have questions po, feel free to chat it po sa ating Zoom chat box or sa atin pong mga YouTube viewers dun po sa ating comment section. So now po, let us proceed po sa ikalawang resource speaker po natin for this morning to discuss with us po the LGU implementing mechanism and communication plan. Let us again welcome Local Government Operations Officer 3, Chelsea Colleen V. Tamayo. Over to you, Ma'am Chelsea. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So, actually po second to the last session na ito. So, kapit-kapit lang tayo. Manalig po kayo, malapit na. And actually, ito pong second to the last session na to because yung action planning po, yung ating huling session, this one po, yung ating LGU implementing mechanisms ay actually sort of a wrap-up and will provide din a guideline to all of us kung sa lahat po nung napakinggan natin at sa lahat po nung natutunan natin, paano nga po ba tayo magsisimula at ano nga po ba yung mga appropriate steps para po magawa natin ito lahat. So ako na lang po yung mag-share ng screen ko. Okay, kita na po ba natin yung nasa screen po? Okay lang po, ako na lang po mag-share. Okay, so this first one is just parang snapshot or overview ng ating po mga sunod-sunod na gagawin or mga steps po para nga po dun sa ating implementing mechanisms. So we have a total of 9 steps na kailangan po nating sundin or yung parang magsisilbi pong guide natin para po magawa natin lahat nung napakinggan at even yung mga best practices po na napanood natin. So of course, it may seem intimidating and overwhelming, especially po na para po dun sa ating mga smaller municipalities na may mga mas konting transactions or applications. Pero starting somewhere po will really help us get to where we want to be. Ayan, may quotable quotes. So, okay po, simulan na po natin. We'll be going over each step, pero this is the overview of mga kailangan po natin gawin. So, una po ay yung issuance ng ating executive order in order to create a management board, a TWG or technical working group, and magtalaga po ng ating secretariat. So, importante po yung mga bodies na yan in order to ensure na meron pong gagawa po ng ating mga further steps. And second po is to measure and assess current processes, design streamlined process, and develop related system according to JMC 2018-01. So kahapon po, isa po yan sa pinaka-emphasize po na discussion. And yung po talaga yung susunod doon after po natin mag-create ng body ay kailangan na nating simulan, mag-inventory, ano ba yung mga kailangan nating baguhin or ano ba yung mga kailangan nating gawing bago na mga systems and processes para po makapag masunod natin yung provisions po sa EODB and dun sa ating JMC. And next po to that is of course since multi-stakeholder po yung approach natin ng pag-implement nito, ay kailangan po natin mag-forge ng agreements and partnerships with, of course, yung ating BFP, barangays, and NGAs. And after po niyan, it's to set up na yung ating one-stop shop for construction permits o yung kahapon pa nga po nating sinishare po na experiences and virtual site visit na nakita po natin sa Marinduque and sa PPC, yung ating OSCP. And after po niyan, we have to orient and train yung ating mga LGU staff and of course yung BFP dun po sa ating mga na-create na bagong processes and dun po sa ating OSCP. And number 6 po ay do simulations of processes and IT systems and improve accordingly. So, kumbaga parang dry run or rehearsal po ito ng mga sinet up po nating systems para naman po ma-ensure natin na kapag nandiyan na po yung mga applicants or yung ating mga kliyente ay maayos po siyang maisasagawa or ma-follow po natin yung sinet up po natin na process. So kita naman po natin kahapon sa ating po mga sharing at saka kanina po sa video na napanood natin ng mga existing na po na processes, no, matagal na panahon din naman po yung inipon nila at natuto sila from para po makapag-practice at magawa yun ng ganun ka-seamless. So kaya rin po natin yung basta magsimula po tayo, yun nga po sa simulations and yung actual conduct. And 7 naman po ay mag-conduct or magbigay po tayo ng mga IEC materials. So later po, mag-guide po tayo ng ating communication plan. Paano po natin masasabi or magagawa nga po itong step 7. And yung sunod po dyan ay of course to deploy streamline process and OSCP and requisite system. So ito na po yung ating launch, kumbaga, ng ating mga bagong processes and systems na naka-prescribe na po dun sa ating JMC. And syempre, hindi po dyan nagtatapos since tayo po ay continuous learning nga po, no? So kailangan po natin mag-measure and mag-evaluate ng ating mga naging proseso and revise and as needed and finalize the issuance of LGU-specific manual of operation. So para naman po documented lahat nung naging journey natin from step 1 hanggang dun po sa nakapag-launch na tayo and yung ating mga naging succeeding learning sa pagpapatakbo po ng ating OSCP and the processes that accompany it. So now naman po medyo isa-isahin po natin, no? Hindi naman po hindi tayo mag-dwell dun sa ibang steps since it's very straightforward, but we'll be focusing on dun po sa mga mas kailangan natin i-discuss. So una po dyan ay yung step 1, which is yung pag-issue natin ng executive order. So, napagbuo dun nga po sa 3 bodies na ito or dun po sa 3 responsible komite po, no? So, una po dyan yung BPCO Management Board, yung technical working group nga po na sinasabi natin kanina, at yung pagtalaga po ng secretariat. So, yung executive order po na ito ay i-issue ng ating local chief, na ating mga LCEs, and makaka-help po ito sa pag-implement nga po ng ating BPCO. So una po dyan ay yung ating BPCO Management Board. So ang composition niya po ay ang magiging chairman niya po ay kung sa city ay yung ating city mayor at kung sa munisipyo po ay yung ating municipal mayor. Ang kanya naman pong vice chairman ay yung ating city and or municipal administrator. So I believe naman po na si prescribed chairman and si vice chairman ay attendees po, no, and hopefully andito po sa ating activity since kahapon. And yung members po nila would be the city director, the MLGUO from yours truly, the district engineer from DPWH, the provincial director of DTI, the local fire marshal from BFP, the city or municipal building official or yung ating pong engineer, and yung ating pong, of course, zoning officer and planning development officer. And yung functions naman po ng board na yon ay basically kagaya lang naman po ng ating mga steps na nabanggit kanina. So first, of course po, no, sa kanilang manggagaling yung policies and processes na gagawin po natin. So sila po yung mag-a-approve and mag-institutionalize nun. And second po, they would have to provide advice in relation to the implementation of the BPCO policies and issuance. So since kanila po nanggaling, sila rin po yung magpo-provide ng further advice for the implementation of yung pong na-develop nila na policies. They shall also oversee the streamlining of the BPCO and compliance with yun nga pong JMC, no, na discuss natin yesterday, and other related issuances. They shall also oversee the establishment of a monitoring system on the compliance of OBO, BFP, and other offices nung mga nagawa po nating policies and processes for BPCO. They will also be the ones to approve and support yung atin pong mga budgetary and logistical requirements for the implementation of the standards set in the JMC, including kung saan po ba manggagaling yung pondo para po dun, or saan po mga resources po na kailangan para po dun sa pag-set up ng ating OSCP. And of course, ito po very important nga, sila rin po yung task to monitor and assess the overall implementation of streamlining and automation. So sila po yung magbibigay ng mga success indicators nila if masasabi po ba nilang naging okay po yung launch o yung rollout nila ng kanilang BPCO. And second, ano naman po tayo, second body, under dun po sa step 1 natin po, no, yung pag-establish ng ating TWG. So yung head naman po nito ay yung ating building official or yung ating city and or municipal engineer. At yung ating assistant head po ay yung zoning officer and or planning development officer. So kung pansin nyo po, silang dalawa po ay part din naman po, no? So bako po. Ayan po, po sila. So part din naman po sila ng management board. Pero dito po sa TWG natin, sila po yung head and assistant head. And yung members naman po nila ay yung ating city or municipal assessor, yung ating pong treasurer, information officer, management information system, yung head po nun, and representative po ng private sector or local chamber of commerce. And syempre, andyan pa rin po yung ating representative from BFP, yung ating po mga local fire marshals. And ano naman po yung mga kailangan nilang gawin? So, una po is to review and assess yung mga building permits and certificates of occupancy of the city and municipal level. Sila rin po yung mag-streamline ng BPCO with the participation of offices and departments. So, importante nga po na on board lahat po ng ating relevant stakeholders dun po sa pag-roll out natin. Pwede rin po sila mag-recommend or mag-formulate po, no, since they are a TWG, ng mga CapDev activities na dinidim po na needed nila para po ma-improve yung kanilang pag-operationalize po ng kanilang BPCO. They shall also take charge in the overall guidance in monitoring the implementation of streamlining procedures and processes, and they shall also prepare a report and recommendation to the city or municipal mayor, which is yung head po ng ating managing board, coordinate with business groups and contractors to support the new guidelines, and prepare budget and logistical requirements necessary to support the full implementation of BPCO. So may mga overlapping functions lang po, no? Ibig sabihin lang po nun ay kailangan po mag-work together ng ating TWG at yung ating pong management board. And last po, no, na body or na delegation na makikreate po natin or dapat po nating maitalaga ay yung ating pong secretariat. So yung identified office po for this is the office of the building official. So yung kanila naman pong functions is to prepare and call for meetings para po dun sa ating TWG and record and keep minutes of the meetings and agreements ng ating pong management board at ng TWG, draft guidelines, procedures, and processes of the streamlined building permits and occupancy systems for approval of the mayor and or the council. And of course, keep and maintain all records and communications and other documents of the TWG. So ayun po, very straightforward naman po the usual functions ng isang secretariat. So important po na may ganyan pong body or na may ganyan pong designation dun po sa ating implement po, no, ng ating BPCO, since marami pong documentation na kailangan since tayo po ay nag-release ng mga bagong processes. So, with that po, next naman ay yung discussion po, no, ng forging of agreements between the BFP and the LGU. So, I believe po yung ating pong BFP, yung may copy po ng sample MOA natin with the LGU. Pero these are just some of the content of that MOA. So, LGU and BFP through a MOA, ito po yung kanilang mga functions or designated content po nun for each body. So for BFP po, it's for them to co-locate at the OSCP. So yan nga po yung paulit-ulit po natin ina-emphasize since sessions po natin yesterday. And BFP shall also enjoin a one-time assessment. So kailangan po kasama na po yan. Kasama na nga po sila dun po sa assessment kung sa ating LGU, one time na lang po. And BFP to allow LGU to collect yung fire code construction tax on their behalf, and BFP to join inspection team po, no? And for LGU naman po, it's to, syempre, provide space and resources for BFP dun po sa ating OSCP. May station po sila dun. And for LGU to remit collected fire code construction tax on time. So since sila nga po ay nagko-collect on behalf of BFP, kailangan po ay sila rin makapag-remit on time naman po. And these are just some further emphasis po no, dun sa mga na-discuss na natin. So this was discussed po by Ms. Rayan earlier po. No, yung session before nito was yung integration ng barangay clearance sa ating LGU permitting processes. So it's just also emphasized in that document po. And agreements with the barangays naman po include the city and or municipality to collect, ito na nga po yung mga nabanggit kanina, barangay clearance fee on behalf of the barangay, remit them on time, and the barangays to provide the city municipality their list of barangay clearance. So may emphasis lang po on these agreements dito po sa ating implementing mechanism. So syempre po kailangan nating sundin yung mga earlier nating na-discuss na topics. And of course, ayan po yung pag-set up and establish ng OSCP and requisite systems. Ito po, emphasis na lang po again, parang brief back session po itong second to the last session natin. So both the frontline and backroom operations, kailangan pong ma-set up. And then yung ating pong 4 standard steps and 5-day standards processing time to be achieved. Yung resources nga po na space, yung equipment, mga tools, supplies, and manpower, etc. So yan na po ay previously discussed naman po just this morning. And last po, no, or one of the last steps na na-discuss kanina dun sa 9 steps ay yung prepare na nga po natin and pag-implement ng tinatawag natin communication plan. So we'll be discussing it right after this one po. No? Pero kailangan po talaga natin mag-prepare and disseminate ng IEC materials nga in order to promote naman po no, sa ating target audience, yung ating mga prospective applicants na mas okay na po yung ating sistema and mas mabilis na po yung process. So yun nga po, i-promote natin yung mga bago nating na-establish na standards and conduct advocacy and promotion through social media, radio, television, and posting of information materials such as TARP in conspicuous places. So ito naman po yung last step, kagaya nga po nasabi natin kanina, to implement this. Of course, kailangan po natin mag-set up ng monitoring and evaluation system which was tasked under the TWG. So kailangan po nila mag-conduct ng frequent monitoring to gauge or measure if yun nga pong ating mga planned activities from the start are met and also if na-implement nga po ba talaga natin yung prescribe doon sa ating GFC. So now naman po, ay dadako na po tayo. Teka, change lang po ako ng slide. Ayun na pala. Thank you, Ms. Ray. So, meron lang po tayo ditong additional or really putting emphasis on creating the communication plan since sayang naman po yung efforts natin kung naging successful po tayo sa paggawa po ng mga implementing mechanisms pero hindi naman po alam ng ating mga constituents na nag-improve po no, yung ating mga proseso. So, next slide please. Basically, yung communication plan po natin aims to deliver this message that the Philippine government is making it easier to obtain building permits and certificates of occupancy for their household or business needs. So yan po yung ating overarching message na gusto natin i-communicate no, sa ating mga kliyente. And in order to do that, ito po yung kanyang mga foundational messages. So una, you can get your building permit or certificate of occupancy in just 5 days. So ayun, pero may note po dyan no, for simple application for BPCO. Pero emphasis po dyan na parang in just 5 days compared before. And we also want to communicate that the President is working through the DALG, the DPWH, the ICT, and DTI, and other NGAs to ensure na mangyayari po no, yung pag-provide sa kanila ng better service. And that they can also visit their city or municipal hall and meron na sila makikitang OSCP to experience this new improved processes and procedures. So may tangible space po na pwede nilang first-hand ma-experience lahat po ng mga magandang pagbabago na ito. And yung founding po niyan, facts or mga ating pong actual legal basis ay yung ating nga po mga agencies, DALG, DPWH, DICT, and DTI ay meron nga pong JMC no para ma-ensure na legally mandated tayo na magawa yung pinapromise natin na ito. At na yung 4 agencies working together with syempre yung ating pong mga LGUs are yun nga po, collaborating and working together para po maisagawa itong ating pinangako. And na yung ating streamlined procedure only requires applicants to undergo 4 steps and submit 1 unified form and get the permit or certificate that they need within 5 days. So yan po yung ating gustong iparating talaga sa ating target audience. Given na mapapangatawanan nga po na dapat natin ito. So next slide please. In order to deliver that message, so in order to deliver this message, ito po yung mga strategies lang na recommended for us to use or utilize. So yung communication strategy natin, of course, will have to utilize multiple media and yun nga po shall be undertaken by our LGUs. So yung example po na mga pwede natin gawin ay mga printed materials such as brochures, flyers, mga tarps or posters. And of course, lalo na po ngayon, no, digital marketing na po ang labanan. So I'm pretty sure most of us naman have our Facebook pages for our respective LGUs. So important din po yung mga infographics, presentations, and videos deployed to the LGU's website or yung ating nga pong mga pages. Actually po, super ganda po nung na-share kahapon ng PPC. Parang meron po silang isang brochure, no? Tapos nandun na lahat. So nandun na yung ano yung expected time, ano yung requirements, ano yung processes, tapos yung contact details nila. So that's one good example of a communication strategy po, no, na may communicate na we're here to serve you better and we're here to deliver these services in a much shorter amount of time. So next slide, please. Ayan. And of course, sino ba yung mga gusto nating makatanggap ng mensahe na ito? Meron tayong dalawang audiences na tina-target natin. Very straightforward, yung ating primary audience ay syempre yung ating clientele o yung ating mga prospective applicants ng building permits and certificates. Of course, yung mga firms, partnership corporation, head of government or private institution, organizations, or any character po na possible mag-apply for the issuance of permits and certificates. So sila po yung pinaka-tina-target natin na masabihan na we have these new standards na mas mapapabuti po yung experience nyo transacting with us. Pero meron din po tayong secondary audience. So these are yung ating pong own regulatory offices, which include yung ating pong mga local fire marshals, local building officials, local planning and development coordinators, local assessors, treasurers, and BPLOs and barangay officials. So bakit po kasama sila dun sa messaging natin? Siyempre, kung mas streamlined at mas efficient po yung ating processes, tayo din naman po mismo na involved sa pag-implement and pag-operationalize nito ay makaka-appreciate if mas maganda at mas maayos na nga po yung ating proseso kasi mas makaka-help po ito, no, sa ating tasks. So important din po na maiparating natin sa mga mismong implementing or regulatory offices na ito, of course for their information para magawa po nila, and for their appreciation then also. So next slide, please. So this is just a sample of an LGU communication plan. Again, sample lang po ito, no? You can customize it accordingly or depende po sa kung ano yung tingin yung gusto nyong i-prioritize na message. Pero syempre, in pursuit dun sa message house natin kanina, na delivering that main message na mas mabuti or mas maganda na yung pag-experience nyo, no, when you transact with us. So we have here just 4 columns or 5 pala. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 5 pala. So syempre, yung target audience natin, yung key messages, yung format or medium kung saan natin siya ipapalabas or gagawin. Yung timeline, prescribed timeline, again, it's up to us, no, kung ano rin po yung ating kakayanan. Depende rin po yan sa ating iba't ibang sitwasyon, no, sa kada LGU. And yung responsible office or person po to do that. So for this sample action plan, this is dedicated for primary audiences po natin. So basically, yung ating mga prospective applicants. So ito po ay institutional communication of signed JMC and approved manual of operation. So nakalista po dito dun sa ating primary audiences, sino po specifically yung tinatarget natin per message. So nandiyan yung general public kasi hindi naman natin alam, lahat po sila, no, maaaring maging applicant natin if they decide to secure these permits. And of course, yung business community, since sila naman yung most probably masasecure ng mga ito. And in general, yung ating mga applicants and clients. So doon po sa key messages natin, nandyan yung specific key message or content na gusto nating iparating. So for almost everyone po ay ang gusto dito sa sample na ito iparating ay ano nga ba yung naging reforms dun sa issuance of BPCO. So baka naman kasi hindi clear, no, sa ating public ano ba yung changes or updates na matatamasa nila. So may iba-ibang format and medium po, no, yung ating mga messages. So meron diyang flyers kagaya po nung or parang brochures kagaya nga po nung sa PPC, newsletters o comics para naman mas visual and mas may narrative, hindi masyadong technical. And posters, tarps posted in conspicuous places within the LGU. Meron din dito mga AVP, meron din dito sa mga local media natin. Meron din dito mas formal, which is mga through forums. And meron din dito, ayun, mga printed materials. And nakalagay dito, year-round yung ginawa or yung sample natin. No? So parang since buong taon naman siguro, baka marami silang applicants, no? Baka yun po yung kanilang target. And nakaspecify lang which offices, no, yung dinedicate nila or yung gagawa po for each message or for each material. So next slide, please. Yung sunod naman po ay sample naman for our secondary audiences. So the same po, no, the same main material, which is yung ating signed JMC and yung ating magiging approved or magagawang manual of operations. Pero this one, for ano naman po siya, ating mga regulatory offices or dun po sa ating mga nag-i-implement mismo. So una dyan ay yung ating LGU, which is composed ng ating mga LCEs, lahat ng department heads, yung BFP po natin mismo, and yung ating mga barangays. So yung key message dito ay yung actual orientation siguro or yung parang laman, yung content or salient features nung GMC nga po, no? And they did it through a meeting. So depende rin po yung medium dun sa purpose or dun sa key message and sino yung target audience. Since ano naman po sila, it's a formal setup, they deemed it more appropriate to discuss this or to communicate this to each other via a meeting. And dito po sa timeline nila, naglagay sila ng specific period kasi nga siguro it's a meeting, baka naman po may regular meetings po sila, sinabay nila doon as the agenda. And ayun po, nakalagay lang rin ulit dito yung responsible office. And then for OBO and the other department heads concerned, yung issuance naman po ng EO to adapt the reforms under that JMC, paano naman po nila yun i-communicate, no? It's through a policy issuance. So para po mas may, kumbaga mas may kagat na yung message, they did it through a more formal and official communication. So a policy issuance. And yung responsible office, of course, yung ating LCE and yung ating Sangguniang Bayan and mga panglungsod. So next slide, please. I think, ayun, okay na pala. So it's up to you po talaga paano nyo ika-craft yung inyong mga communication plan and how you will go about your implementing mechanisms. Those are just examples to really guide you po, no, dun sa ating seemingly daunting process. So, yun naman po, I think that's already our second to the last session before the action planning, but I'm calling over ulit Ms. Ivy to proceed na siguro with our open forum.
And thank you very much po, Ma'am Chelsea, for that presentation po ng ating LGU implementing mechanism and communication plan. So for our participants po, this is now our open forum session. So kung meron po kayong mga questions na gusto nyo pong itanong, feel free po to chat it in our chat box, or you may raise your hand po para po formally acknowledge namin kayo, ma-raise po ninyo personally yung inyong concern, and masagot po yan ng ating mga resource speakers. And for our YouTube participants po, feel free din po to send your questions dyan po sa ating comment section. Meron po tayong training secretariat na nagko-collect ng lahat po ng questions ng ating mga participants. Any questions po kaya from our participants? We can see po na naka-group viewing yung iba nating participants. We have mga naka-GV po from LGU Corcuera, from LGU and DILG Santa Fe Romblon, LGU San Agustin. Ano pa ba ang mga naka-GV? I think yung Quezon Palawan ay naka-GV din. So, while contemplating po sa inyong mga questions, we would like to remind din po, please follow yung minimum health standards po natin in this activity para po maiwasan natin yung pagkalat po ng COVID-19. So, any questions po kaya from our participants?
Wala pa namang question. Magbigay lang din ako ng isa sa mga frequently asked questions. Yung concern po kasi ng ating mga city or municipal level and the barangay na rin is kadalasan daw ay hindi naman nga pare-pareho yung rates ng ating fees ng barangay clearance sa iba't ibang barangay doon sa ating specific na LGU or sa city or sa municipality. So, ang tanong kasi nila ay anong magiging effect nun? So, sa atin naman po, we are promoting, kasama din po sa EODB law, ang rationalization nga ng fees and charges. Yun po yung binanggit din natin kahapon. So, it is really up to the barangay kung ano po yung magiging computation po nila na appropriate amount po for the barangay clearance. So, we are actually saying po na hindi po kailangan pare-pareho ang rates ng bawat barangay. You don't have to standardize, but rather you have to rationalize nga po. Basta po merong basis yung inyong pag-assign or allocate po ng ganong specific amount for the payment ng barangay clearance, as well as yung iba pa pong fees to be charged po in other areas or other parts po ng sa ating permits.
And so thank you very much po, Ma'am Ray. And so technically po parang need po talaga ng legal basis on the rationalization of fees. Tama po ba, Ma'am Ray?
Of fees and charges.
Okay, so well noted po yun po yung need natin for the rationalization of fees and charges, yung para maging legal basis po natin doon po sa mga fees and charges po na ginagamit po natin. Any questions po from our participants regarding po sa mga naging discussion natin ngayong umaga at kahapon? Nandito pa po yung mga resource speakers po natin to answer your questions. So feel free po to unmute or raise your hand or chat it po in our chat box. Ito na po yung ating pagkakataon.
Tama. Oo. Hello?
Yes po, Engineer Constantino. Naka-mute po kayo, sir. Engineer, naka-mute po kayo, sir, yung inyo pong audio.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Good morning po.
Ma'am, may nag-text sa akin dito. Siguro nahihiya lang mag-raise ng question. Tinatanong nila, sino daw ba ang pipirma doon sa barangay clearance? kung ito raw ay sa munisipyo o yung barangay captain pa rin. Hello, ma'am.
Yes po.
Narinig po ako?
Yes po, engineer, loud and clear po ano. So the question is, sino po ang pipirma dun sa barangay clearance since nandun na po yung ating mga barangay representatives sa one-stop shop, kung yung sa munisipyo po ba or yung sa barangay pa din. So tama po ba, engineer?
Yes,
to
yes.
To answer the question po, si barangay punong barangay pa din po ang pipirma po sa ating barangay clearance since nga po it is a document coming from the barangay. Ang in-integrate lang po natin is hindi na nga po kailangang i-secure ni applicant yung ating barangay clearance prior to the application. So meaning po, ang magre-release lang po, releasing of the barangay clearance is together with the permit, so ating building permit na ang atin nga pong objective ay para po hindi na po sila pabalik-balik or going to different offices po. So once po na nakapag-submit po sila ng application, yun nga po, i-work out na po ng zoning officer or ng assessor din po na ma-communicate po sa ating barangays na mayroong application and needing ng barangay clearance at your level. So once nga po na makita po na wala naman pong issues doon po sa ating location or rather doon din po sa
yes. Okay, ma'am. So para po to make it clear sa ating mga participants, siguro kung let's say for example Barangay Santo Rosario ay mayroong application, doon lang natin i-inform yung barangay representative siguro. Kasi kung i-collocate natin yung representative ng buong barangay, ng buong munisipyo, magsisikip tayo sa one-stop shop niyan. So ang gagawin lang natin dapat yan, kung may applicants, yung zoning officer ang tatawag sa barangay representative na magsasabi na mayroong applicant sa kanyang barangay. Siguro gano'n na, ma'am.
Sabi nga po natin kanina, hindi naman nga po kailangang all the time nandun sila, lalo na po kung alam naman din po natin sa level natin na bihira po yung transactions. So, ang ang idea po is para po kapag sila po ay mag-a-assess na or kapag sila po ay pupunta doon sa ating OSCP, ay meron po silang pwedeng maging pwesto na pwede po nilang gawing parang office.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Once na ang concern po is yung kanilang specific barangay.
Okay, ma'am. And then, ma'am, yung dagdag ko lang siguro, yung iba kasi nagtatanong, ilan ba dapat yung barangay clearance fee? Ang magiging may isi-share ko dyan, during the time of ABC meeting, ay siguro yung building official ay makipag-ano sa ating mayor at para ma-discuss sa mga barangay captain. At ando naman yung kanila mga existing fees. Kasi bawat barangay iba-iba yan eh. So kung halimbawa a-attend sila ng EBC meeting, makukuha nila yung mga corresponding fees na sinisingil ng mga barangay.
Yes po, well noted po, Engineer Constantino po. And I think that would be a good strategy din po para po dun sa mga LGU participants po natin to implement that kind of scheme po. Any other manifestation po?
Yes, ma'am.
From our other resource speakers, Ma'am Chelsea, Ma'am Rayanne. Nandito rin po si Ma'am Mary Grace and si Sir John Mark Babas po
Ivy. May rinig po ba?
Yes, Ma'am Chelsea, go ahead po.
Mukhang very shy yata yung ating mga participants. Mas preferred nila ay direct message. So meron po ditong anonymous manifestation doon na nga po sa discussion natin na parang another challenge din daw po na almost 7 sa place po nila or sa LGU nila, almost 7 out of 15 barangays ay wala at pahirapan talaga ang signal. Whether it may be text or call. Minsan napunta pa sa tabing dagat just to receive the text. I think this is in relation to parang knowing no if yung concerned barangay nga ba nila yung dapat mag-action doon sa specific request for a building permit. So yun nga po, may mga ganun tayong challenges, and I think yung nasuggest kanina ni Engineer Constantino would really help with that.
Thank you very much po, Ma'am Chelsea, for that manifestation. So, may iba pa po ba tayong manifestation from our resource speakers or other questions po from our participants? So, this is our time po to ask questions to our resource speakers.
Opo, baka po i-take na po talaga natin yung chance na ito prior po dun sa ating action planning. Para rin po ma-help po namin kayo mag-guide dun po sa ating mga gagawin po during that session.
Ayan, so mukhang wala na pong nagtatanong.
Ivy?
Yes po, ma'am.
Apo, may concern lang regarding daw sa MOA with BFP. Ano kaya po ang scheme po nito? Baka pwede po tayong ma-clarify po sa atin ng ating pong resource speakers po from BFP regarding po doon sa MOA with the LGU.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning po.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Regarding po sa MOA, ma'am, template na po yung MOA na yun. No? Lahat po doon nakalagay na po ano po yung dapat gagawin ng LGU at saka ng BFP. So dapat po ma-meet yung sa MOA na yun para po makapag-collecta yung regarding din sa fire good fees collection natin. Yung LGU ng mga molekta. So, nakalagay naman po doon lahat ng mga guidelines po.
Thank you, sir. Siguro po for the guidance din po ng ating participants, mangingin na lang din po. Tama po, sir, no? Nasa level po ng BFP po manggagaling yung MOA na ito?
Yes, ma'am. Opo. Nababa na po yan sa mga stations. From regional office po yan.
Okay.
Yun na po yung template. Wala na po silang babaguhin. Babaguhin na po nila doon. Yun nga po yung mga both parties, mga kasama doon sa MOA. Yun na po yung ang gagawin talaga doon po.
Yes, sir. Manghingi na lang po kami kay Ma'am Grace po ng copy po nito para po maisama po natin sa i-distribute nating mga documents or files po sa ating mga LGU participants for their guidance po, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yun po yung nag-signify na dito sa MOA natin yan, ma'am. Yun yung Puerto Princesa, no? Sa LGU at saka yung Bureau of Fire Protection for Citizens City po. Yun po ang nag-signify dito sa tingin ko, dito sa kung may Maropa po. Yun pa lang po ang nag-signify ng MOA. Okay po, papadalaan po natin tayo, bababa natin ulit itong MOA na ito. Pa-advise na lang kayo, Epo 3 Ray.
Thank you, sir. Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Yes po, thank you very much po, Sir John. Ma'am Rian, meron po tayong manifestation in our Zoom chat box. So, mahirap po na mag-set up ng OSCP para po sa mga 5th to 6th class municipalities wherein ang applicants po per year ay usually 2 to 3 lang.
So siguro before i-add ko na rin may personal manifestation din in relation to this challenge po parang lalo naman daw po ngayon in our current pandemic situation, parang they're really hesitant to do the co-location or hindi nila nakikitang advisable since ang purpose nga is to limit the transmission of risk of the virus and even pores can be carrier. So yun po, in relation to the capacity to set it up, as well as yung current pandemic situation nga natin.
And thank you very much po, Ma'am Chelsea, for answering that manifestation po.
I'm
Ma'am,
sorry, nag-add lang ako na may
Yes
ganun
po.
ding parang added layer na aside from their capacity, may health risk nga rin at this time.
Yes po, well noted, Ma'am Chelsea. I think there is another privately message po na manifestation request. I think this is a question na paano raw po, for example, sa isang municipality, ang iyong barangays ay lumalampas ng 20 or 20 to 30. So hindi po kaya mahirap yung co-location given po the current pandemic situation po natin ngayon?
Oo, ayun. So mukhang marami nga. I mean, mukhang this is top of their mind, no? Na challenge.
Yes po, and to add din, talaga nga pong, kumbaga, when this was executed, parang nobody really thought po na magkakaroon ng ganitong klaseng pandemya. And ang ano lang po natin, kaya lang din po natin sinasabi, this is prescribed naman po. Siyempre, ang priority pa rin po ngayon is the health and safety po ng ating, not just the applicants, but kayo rin po sa LGU na mga nagpa-process nga po nitong mga documents nila. So, sa ganun nga po, pwede nga po kung ano po yung magiging alternative.
Hello, clear ba kami? Clear kami?
Yes po, Ma'am Chelsea and Ma'am Rayanne. Go ahead po.
Nag-freeze kasi yung
alternative po na means of communication nga po or paano po magkakaroon ng innovation po pagdating doon sa i-integrate po natin itong sa particularly yung barangay clearance kasi yun nga po yung medyo may kailangang coordination din talaga. So, I believe naman po na sa ngayon po ay kaya naman po natin sa current process po natin is yung kumbaga parang constant communication nga lang din po with our counterpart po sa ating barangay LGUs.
And, thank you very much po, Ma'am Rayanne and Ma'am Chelsea for answering that. Meron po kayang maidadagdag yung ating pong mga resource speakers, Engineer Constantino?
Isipan ang ating discussion kasi madalang ang question eh. Siguro ay naiintindihan na talaga nila kung paano gagawin yung ating mga activity when it comes to one-stop shop for construction and occupancy.
Ayun, thank you very much po, Engineer. So, kagaya nga po ng mga nabanggit ng ating mga resource speakers po, we really need to innovate po on how to implement this kind of scheme given po yung ating current pandemic situation. So hearing no question po and I think wala na pong nag-raise ng kanilang hands.
Yes. Sorry.
Yes po.
May add lang sana ako in relation to the current discussion.
Yes, Ma'am Chelsea, go ahead po.
Sorry, pasensya na po, hindi po, medyo na-freeze po kasi sa amin yung di po namin sure if nagsuslow internet ba. But ayun po, siguro very emphasized na po, not only in this activity, but also with the rest po ng aming EODB package rollout po for other PPAs under the EODB, ay nare-raise naman po talaga yung ganitong concerns, especially very emphasized po dun sa ating processes, yung importance or yung pag-set up nung boss tsaka nung OSCP na hindi nga po siguro applicable sa lahat ng ating mga municipalities, especially sa case po ng Mimaropa. I remember this one time lang po na discussion, may nag-raise po na from Balabac, Palawan, and yun nga po, medyo ganitong situation din po sa kanila, mahirap po yung signal and hindi naman po ganun kadami din yung applications. And baka po sa ganitong situation, we can really design na lang po kung paano po yung magiging proseso natin as applicable dun po sa ating LGU. As mentioned po ni Ms. Ray kanina, prescriptions lang naman po talaga itong mga specific details po na pag-uusapan natin during this past 2 days. Pero it's really up to our LGU, kagaya rin po ng nabanggit ni Engineer Setias, may activity lang po siya this morning. Pero kagaya po na nabanggit niya, no, yung innovation po is really up to our LGUs on how we'll be able to cater dun po sa JMC while still being able to prioritize ito nga pong health restrictions po and yung ating resources managed
Kasama na
resources
yun.
sa ating LGUs.
Ating site
Opo.
development.
And another thing po rin siguro to share is that we'll actively coordinate na lang rin po sa aming mga MLGOs to ensure that kung ano man po yung mga best practices being done by LGUs experiencing these challenges are communicated po, no, and are shared to the other LGUs who would experience po, no, para naman alam nila yung strategies ng ibang LGU sa pag-implement po nito. So I think at this point po, hindi naman po talaga very strictly at rigid tayo sa pag-implement nito. Innovation po talaga is key, and not like in a techie sense, pero in the sense na ano po ba yung applicable sa ating LGUs. And yun nga po, just also want to highlight the importance of collaboration, not only through us, no, pwede rin po tayo mag-usap-usap sa with each other, so with each LGUs po kung ano po ba yung nagagawa nating strategies para po ma-address itong mga na-raise natin ngayon. So yun lang po, Miss Ivy.
And thank you very much po, Ma'am Chelsea, for that additional information po. So, taking from the manifestation po ni Ma'am Chelsea, so innovation is the key po talaga kung ano yung mas applicable po sa inyo pong LGU to implement po itong ating BPCO. So, hearing no questions na po, wala na po akong nakikitang questions sa ating chat box, and at the same time, wala na rin po kaming nakikitang questions na naka-comment sa ating pong YouTube. We will now proceed po, time check po natin is already 10:25. We will be giving our participants a 10-minute health break. So balik po tayo ng 10:36 ng umaga para po sa ating action planning session. So, see you po at 10:36 a.m.
Just
Ayan. So, good morning po ulit sa ating lahat. Time check. It's already 10:35 in the morning. So, while waiting po sa ating mga ibang participants na makabalik on their seats, we would like po to request everyone sa mga hindi pa po nakakapag-change na kanilang username to please change your username po into LGU, province underscore name. So, please indicate po sa unahan po ng inyong mga username sa ating Zoom yung name po ng inyong LGU and kung saang probinsya po kayo nanggaling so that we can assign you po into the proper breakout room para po sa ating action planning. And to present with us po yung mechanics ng ating action planning for this morning, I will be turning over po ulit yung virtual floor po natin to Ma'am Rayanne Maranan. Over to you po, Ma'am Rayanne.
Ayun. So hello, good morning po ulit. Let me just present yung ating action plan template. So, balik muna po ako sa simula. Alright. So, ito po yung ating sample or yung ating blank template po ng ating LGU action plan on how to implement yung ating BPCO sa ating level. How to streamline po yung BPCO at your LGUs. So basically, ang contents po, ano po yung mga activities, sub-activities, output, time frame, sino po yung mga lead and other key action officers or officials or offices po na involved dito. And lastly, ano po yung resources po na kailangan to make these activities happen. So may sample template po tayo. This can be your guide at pwede rin naman pong i-customize po ninyo according po sa inyong LGU and pwede rin po kayong magdagdag ng additional steps. So first po dito is yung pag-develop po ng kung kayo po ay gagawa po or magpe-prepare ng improvement plan. So sa proposed changes po. So andyan po, involved po yung mga sub-activities po na preparation ng executive order, sa creation po ng management board, DWG, and secretariat po sa implementation ng JMC and doon na rin sa improvement. So kasama din po doon yung pag-orient sa LCEs on the reform to be implemented, preparation ng mga executive orders through the TWG, and the preparation of the actual improvement plan. So andun din po kasama yung review and assessment on the current building and occupancy permit processes or yung system. Ano po ba yung current na meron kayo? So ilan po yung number of steps or time? Meron po bang backroom operations, review of forms or requirements, and then yung documents or resources. So this is this is not parang this is just a prescribed po. So, depende po sa inyo kung ano po yung mga activities na i-undertake po ninyo. So, the outputs po would be the executive order, then the creation of the TWG, as well as yung pag-prepare po ng plan, and then nagkaroon nga po ng assessment ng current BPCO. So, sa time frame po, depende po sa inyo kung ilan po yung kailan nyo po ilalagay, and then sample po ng mga concerned offices or officials po dito sa ating activity 1. And then, kayo na rin po ang mag-identify ano po yung mga resources na pangangailangan. So, you can add po or magbawas din po as necessary. So, next po dyan is pag-prepare din po ng mga feedback and recommend ng implementation ng reforms po. So, andyan yung plan to re-engineer the system. Regarding naman po sa re-engineering the system, so basically, alamin lang po ano po yung mga dapat na ibabaguhin, as well as ano po yung steps na gagawin po para po achieve yung goal. And then, pwede pong kasama na po doon yung MOA ng consultation po with partners. So depending po kung paano po yung magiging output sa consultation regarding po sa integration ng barangay clearance doon sa ating permitting process, as well po yung consultation po sa BFP ng processes sa issuance po ng FSEC and FSIC. Pati na rin po doon sa inclusion nila sa one-time assessment and one-time payment, as well as yung remittance po ng collected na payment. So once again po, depende po yan sa mga actions to be taken ninyo po. And then nakaspecify din naman po kung sino po yung mga possible na involved po dito, as well as yung resources na kailangan. So next po natin is yung pag-set up po ng one-stop shop. So ito po yung actual physical na po depende nga rin po ano po yung applicable and feasible po sa inyong level. So possible po yung drafting ng EO ordinance, establishment ng OSCP, site identification, preparation ng building plan kung magpapatayo po ng panibago, or parang allocation lang po ba ng space for the OSCP. And then, ano po yung flowchart ng OSCP? Ano po yung magiging itsura or layout ng ating OSCP? Kasama din po dyan, ano yung mga facilities, yung mga service vehicle po ba pag nag-i-inspection, and then computers kung may new allocation po and other supplies, kung may other amenities po, and kung wala pa po kayong building official, possible din po yung sa hiring po. Then, ang outputs lang po basically is the OSCP itself. Kasama po yung implementing or enabling mechanism niya po, which is the executive order and yung ordinance. So, sino-sino nga rin po ba yung involved personnel, and then resources needed. So, once again po, guide lang po natin itong sample LGU action plan. Not necessary po talaga na ito yung gagawin po ninyo. So, number 3 naman po natin is yung sa operationalization. Paano po natin magagawa na operational yung ating OSCP. So, andyan po una yung co-location. Kung meron nga pong gagawin co-location, pero yun nga po, we are considering din ngayon yung pandemic. So, andun po ba si zoning, si treasurer, si assessor, or yung representatives po nila, as well as yung representatives po ng barangay at ng BFP. So, paano po yung magiging conduct ng joint inspection nila ng ating team? So, paano rin po yung test? Kung may test or dry run po ba? Paano po kapag may na-identify po na issues? Paano po i-address yun? And then, finally, full implementation. So, once again, depende po sa inyo on how you would operationalize the OSCP. So, kanina rin po, na-present natin yung ating communication plan. Meron pong preparation ng communication plan itself, preparation and printing ng IEC materials, yung ating mga customer-friendly orientation, frontliners, and then yung information or education campaign, and yung sa grievance mechanism o yung pong public assistance or complaints desk, meron din pong ganon. So outputs po, ano po yung possible outputs? Kailan po ito expected na gagawin? Sino pong involved? Ano po yung resources na kailangan? And kasama din po lastly is yung sa monitoring and evaluation. So sino po ba yung mag-assess and monitor ng implementation ng reforms? Sino rin po or paano po i-monitor yung client satisfaction for improvement ng services? Then, paano po yung submission ng reports to concerned agencies or NGAs? And then, kung kasama din po sa mga sub-activities po ninyo, yung pag-present ng accomplishment to the management board. So, yun nga po, we are just emphasizing na this will only serve as a guide po ninyo, at hindi naman nga po kailangang sundin po yung specific na mga contents po nitong action plan natin. Now, i-breakout room lang po natin, and then we'll give you po hanggang 30 minutes po, so that would be until 11:15 para po makapag-brainstorming tayo. Actually, may mga LGUs po tayo na naka group viewing na. So, you can discuss amongst yourselves
din po on paano po talaga may implement ito. And then we can go around naman po sa mga rooms po natin in case na kailangan po ng ating guidance. And then we ask din po yung atin pong mga MLGUs as well as yung PFPs if you would din po facilitate kung paano po mabibigyan po or gagawin po natin ng action plan makakagawa po ng action plan ng ating mga LGUs on how they will go about sa OSCP or sa streamlining din po ng ating BPCO. So we will start a breakout room po para po if may discussion kayo na with your kasamahan po na from a different location. So let me just open lang po yung breakout rooms and then I will assign din po yung iba pang mga participants. Yan. So sa iba po nating mga kasamahan, open na po yung ating breakout rooms and you can enter na po. May I ask lang din po sa iba po nating participants po like si Sir Eddie Mapa tsaka si Miss Curly Panagsagan kung saang LGU po tayo para po alam namin kung saan kayo ilalagay.
And yes po, Ma'am Ray, just to add sa atin po mga participants na na-assign na po namin kayo sa inyong mga respective breakout rooms per municipality. So kindly click lang po sa baba ng inyong screen. Makikita nyo po dyan yung click join breakout room. So i-click nyo lang po yan and automatically po you will be directed to the breakout room po ng inyo pong LGU. So yung GV po, LGU Corcuera Romblon na account, hindi pa po siya naka-join. So, click join lang po sa kung sino pong in charge sa ating GV LGU Corcuera Romblon. BLGU San Agustin, BLGU Bakawan San Agustin Romblon, DILG San Agustin Romblon, and LGU San Agustin Romblon. Kindly click po yung join sa baba po ng inyong screen para po makapag-join na po kayo sa breakout room po ng LGU San Agustin. For San Jose po, si Sir Henry. Sir Henry, kindly po pa-click na lang po yung join breakout room po sa baba ng inyong screen para mapunta na rin po kayo dun sa breakout room. For Santa Fe Romblon, si Sir Derek Mayor po, and yung GV po, I think this is GV ng Santa Fe Romblon. DILG po Santa Fe Romblon. Kindly click po yung join breakout room sa baba ng inyong screen para po mapunta na kayo sa inyo pong breakout rooms. For LGU Aborlan po, si Sir Renato Kaabay na lang po yung ating participant na hindi pa po nakakapag-join. So please click po yung join breakout room sa baba ng inyong screen. And mayroon po tayong dalawang participants from LGU Quezon. So, nakapag-join na po si Ma'am Mary Ann Cantuba and mag-isa lang po siya ngayon doon. So, Ma'am Maricel Servando, please click na lang din po yung ating join breakout room sa baba po ng inyong screen. So, if may questions po kayo sa pag-join sa mga breakout rooms, kindly raise your hand or you may unmute po.
Requesting lang rin po si Ma'am Girly at saka si Sir Eddie po. If hindi po tayo makapag-open mic, kindly chat na lang po sa ating chat box kung from which LGU po tayo para po mailagay po namin kayo accordingly sa inyong breakout room.
Ma'am, si Ma'am Girly po ay sa San Jose.
Sino po? Si Ma'am Girly?
Ma'am Girly, apo.
Sige po, assign.
Sir, na-assign na po.
Na-assign na ba ako? Hindi ko makita yun sa akin.
Yes, Sir Henry. Na-assign na po kayo sa San Jose.
Hey, Ma'am Ray.
Hello.
Para po dun sa mga hindi pa na-assign na po pero hindi pa po nakaka-join, dito po sa babang, kung naka-computer po kayo or desktop, dito po sa babang panel, katabi po ng mga share screen, reactions, may breakout room po dyan. Click nyo lang po yun at makikita nyo po na naka-assign po kayo dun sa inyong designated LGU, which is yung LGU nyo naman po. Click nyo lang po yung join breakout room. From DILG San Agustin po, naka-ano po ba kayo? Naka-computer po or naka-phone? Hindi daw po sila maka-join.
Sa phone, ma'am, paano?
May ganun,
Hindi
ganun din po, sir. Ano kanya rin sa breakout room. Kaya lang kung hindi pala updated po yung Zoom sa
Parang
sa
di
phone, baka
updated
hindi.
ang aking...
Okay po. Ayun, baka hindi niya maano.
Wait lang, lilipat ako sa laptop, ma'am.
sige lang po.
Po, Sir Hen.
Aking laptop po kasi ay may edad na rin.
Hindi ka nag-iisa dyan, Sir Henry.
Ayun po. Ano po kayang hindi po ba natin nakikita, para po doon sa mga naka-computer, hindi po ba natin nakikita yung breakout room po sa baba?
Ayan po sa ating mga participants na hindi pa po nakakapag-join. Please click join breakout room po sa baba po ng inyong screen. And I think nagsisimula na po yung inyong mga kasamahan per LGU sa pagdidiscuss po ng kanilang action planning.
Sa ating DILG San Agustin po, i-try po namin. Try po namin i-move. Ayan po, may nag-prompt po ba ulit? Ni-retry po namin. Ano lang po dito sa aming tabi, si Miss Ivy na lang po yung magbigay ng instructions. Baka po kasi naririnig po yung ingay sa amin side. Yeah, Miss Ivy.
And thank you very much po, Ma'am Chelsea. So ayan po, i-call ko lang po ulit yung attention ng ating mga participants na hindi pa po nakakapag-join sa kanila pong breakout room. So kindly po, DILG San Agustin Romblon. Please click po yung join breakout room na nasa baba ng inyo pong screen kung kayo po ay naka-laptop. So click lang po natin yung join breakout room po para makapasok na po kayo dun sa breakout room and makapagsimula na po tayo ng ating action planning session. So meron po tayong bagong pasok. Kindly po sa mga bagong pasok po natin, please indicate the name of your LGU and province bago po dun sa inyong name para po malaman namin kung saang breakout room po namin kayo i-assign. So ayan, kompleto na po ang mga participants from San Jose Romblon. For Santa Fe po, nag-iisa lang po doon si Sir Raymond Mayor, Sir Derek Mayor, DILG Santa Fe Romblon, and GV ng Santa Fe Romblon. Kindly po click join breakout room na nasa baba ng inyong screen para mapunta na po kayo dun sa inyong breakout rooms. For Aborlan po, Sir James Ilagan, kindly po click join para makapunta na rin po kayo dun sa LGU Aborlan na action planning session. And for LGU Quezon, Palawan, kindly po kay Ma'am Maricel Servando, click join breakout room po sa baba ng inyong screen para makapag-join na rin po kayo and ongoing na po yung discussion nila Ma'am Katrina Gabunya and ni Ma'am Mary Ann Cantuba. May we call on din po yung attention ni Sir Roland Mariano. Sir, may I ask po kung anong LGU po kayo, and si Sir Eddie Mapa po? If wala po kayong audio, please chat na lang po sir kay Sir Roland Mariano and kay Sir Eddie Mapa kung saang LGU po kayo sir, para po namin, ma-assign po namin yung kung saang LGU po kayo magbe-breakout rooms.
Hello po, para po sa ating LGU Corquera po, kung nahihirapan po tayo pumasok or bumabalik-balik po tayo mag-sign in sa Zoom, since tayo po ay naka-GB, you may start naman na po on your own since wala naman po tayong ibang inaantay po na ibang Zoom participants po. Thank you po. So no worries po if hindi po kayo makapasok doon sa breakout room para po sa Corquera po, no? Since magkakasama naman po tayo dyan. Salamat po.
Hello.
Ayan po, ano. So, while waiting po sa ating mga participants na hindi pa po nakakabalik, so, please make sure po na na-accomplish po natin yung ating mga action plans and you have your copies with you po. And let's just wait po for another minute para po sa ating mga participants na bumabalik pa lang po sa ating main room.
Hello, Miss Ivy. Opo, nakabalik na lahat ng ating participants. So, I hope nakapag-initial planning na po sila. Don't worry naman po, hindi naman po today po ang apologies po sa San Agustin. Opo, nag-close na po tayo ng breakout room. Bale po, ang atin pong concern is you can continue po on your own po yung ating action planning. In the interest of time po, kinat na po natin siya para po makapag-move po tayo dun sa iba pa pong mga activities. But ano po, we will be giving po each LGU until Friday po to submit yung inyong action plan. So kaya lang po natin tayo breakout room ngayon kasi gusto po namin na makapag-initial na usap na po kayo at your level kung paano po kayo mag-go about sa pag-implement po ng BPCO at your level. So maraming salamat po. And Miss Ivy, back to you po.
Ayan, so thank you very much po, Ma'am Ray. And yes po, merong mga LGUs po tayo na hindi po nakatapos ng kanilang action planning session. So, yun nga po sabi ni Ma'am Rayan, we will be giving you until Friday po. So, that will be until June 25, 2021 to submit po yung inyong mga action plans sa amin pong level. So, para malaman po namin kung paano po ninyo i-implement yung BPCO sa inyong level. So, ayun po, meron pong mga LGUs na wala pong mga naging pag-uusap na nangyari. So, maybe po dahil po dun sa internet connection, nakita po namin na pabalik-balik yung iba nating participants. So, para po dun sa mga LGUs po na walang naganap po na pag-uusap or hindi po natapos, you may still continue po the action planning session on your own and kindly na lang po submit your action plans in our level on or before Friday, June 25, 2021. So ngayon po tapos na po tayo sa ating action planning, tapos na po tayo sa ating 2-day session. We will now proceed po. Ito po na po yung pinakahihintay ninyo, alam po namin ito. We will now proceed to the closing ceremony of our 2-day activity. So next slide po, Ma'am Rayan. Ayan, so to start our closing ceremony po this morning, we would like to award po these certificates of appreciation po sa atin pong mga magigiting at mahuhusay na mga resource speakers na kasama natin simula pa po kahapon. So let me read lang po the content of our certificate. So Republic of the Philippines, Department of the Interior and Local Government, Mimaropa Region, Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Engineer Rustico Constantino of Santa Cruz, Marinduque for sharing his valuable time, knowledge, and expertise as research speaker during the conduct of EODB Package Rollout 2021, training rollout on the streamlining of business permit, and certificate of occupancy for LGUs held on June 21 to 22 to 23, 2021, given on this 3rd day of June 2021. So maraming salamat po, Engineer Rustico Constantino, for sharing with us po yung inyong knowledge, time, and expertise po during our 2-day activity. And sigurado naman po ang lahat na marami po tayong natutunan sa ating pong mga ating mga resource speakers.
So Miss
next,
Ivy,
yes po.
We will be sending po a revised copy po kasi yun nga hindi na po na overlook yung ating certificate of appreciation kasi nga po we were supposed to conduct this on June 2 to 3. But rest assured po sa ating mga resource speakers na we'll give you po the corrected certificate as well as yung sa certificates din po for our participants.
Ayun. So, well noted po, Ma'am Rian, with that po, ano. So, the same certificate din po, ano, we would like to award the same certificate din po to, next slide, please. Ayan, Engineer Pacifico F. Setias III from Puerto Princesa City. Maraming salamat po, Engineer Setias, for sharing with us your knowledge and expertise po ano, as resource speaker during this activity. The same certificate din po, we would like to award to Inspector John Mark P. Babas of the Bureau of Fire Protection Mimaropa. Sir, maraming salamat po for sharing with us your time and expertise as resource speaker. Maraming salamat po, Inspector John. And the same certificate din po we would like to award to Fire Officer 3, Mary Grace C. Ray of Bureau of Fire Protection, Mimaropa. Ma'am, maraming salamat po for gracing our activity po, this 2-day activity, at maraming salamat po dahil kasama po namin kayo hanggang ngayon. Next po. Ayan, the same certificate din po we would like to award to LGUO4 Ray and May P. Maranan of DILG Mimaropa, and to LGUO3 Chelsea Colleen V. Tamayo of DILG Mimaropa din po for sharing their time, knowledge, and expertise during this activity. So this certificate of participation naman po will be awarded to qualified participants po ng ating activity. So sino-sino po itong ating mga qualified participants? So kung kayo po ay nakapagkumpleto ng atin pong attendance forms, which means po dapat meron kayong time in and time out po nung day 1, and at the same time meron din po kayo dapat time in and time out po during our day 2, mabibigyan po kayo ng certificate of participation. So dapat nakapag time in and time out po kayo during the 2-day activity as a participant po. Dapat as a participant po yung inyo pong pinili. So you will be qualified to receive po yung certificate of participation sa inyo pong mga registered email addresses. And just to add lang din po, yung mga nilagay po ninyong names sa inyo pong attendance, yun po yung makikredit namin in case po na na-qualified po kayo for this certificate po. Ano, yun po yung automatic na mailalagay in this certificate. So make sure lang po na correct and correct po yung name na inilagay po ninyo, tama po yung spelling. Ayan, so next slide po. Ayan, so kagaya nga din po ng nabanggit ko kanina, para ma-receive nyo po yung inyong certificate of participation, kindly po access the day 2 logout forms in this link. So this link po is already chatted na rin po sa ating Zoom chat box, and para po sa ating mga YouTube participants, nakapin po yan sa ating comment section. So kindly access na lang din po yung ating pong attendance sheet para po masagutan po ninyo yung ating mga required login and logout forms. And to formally close po our 2-day activity.
Miss Ivy?
Yes po.
Opo, may quick announcement lang ako before we actually close the program po. After po ng ating program, baka kasi po alis na po tayo. We will still be opening po yung ating, stay open lang po namin yung Zoom natin. Then i-open po ulit namin yung breakout rooms para po doon sa mga LGUs po natin na gustong i-continue po yung inyong action planning para hindi nyo na po kailangan mag-log into another Zoom. So, we will be opening hanggang at least mga 2 p.m. po yung ating session, ang ating pong Zoom room para naman po mabigyan po kayo ng chance to na brainstorming pa po sa inyong action plan. Thank you, Miss Ivy. Back to you po.
Ayan, thank you very much po, Ma'am Rayan, for that reminders po. So, ayun po sa ating mga participants po na hindi po nakapag-group viewing or naka-individual viewing, we will be opening our Zoom room po mamaya kahit matapos po yung program. So, open pa din po yung ating mga breakout room. So, kindly click lang po yung join breakout room kung gusto nyo pa pong i-continue yung inyo pong action planning session. So click lang po ulit yung join breakout room para po mapunta po kayo doon sa inyong mga respective breakout rooms. And to formally close po our activity, 2-day activity for this week, we would like to welcome po our Division Chief from the Local Government Capacity Development Division to give us the closing remarks. So, Ma'am Tess, over to you po.
Hello. Thank you, Ivy. Can I be heard?
Yes po, Ma'am Tess. Loud and clear po.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So, andito na po tayo sa pagtatapos ng ating 2-day activity on the BPCO. So, efficiency, accessibility of government services, transparency, customer-centric service, one government, maximizing the use of technology, and zero contact policy. These are the guiding principles that we have to keep not only in our minds, but also in our hearts. For these are the essence of JMC number 2018-01 that we have to implement, disseminate to our stakeholders and constituents, and finally fully embrace at the soonest time possible. Indeed, just like what our resource person said, and I know that you also have this in your mind, that these changes that we have to adapt will not happen as easy as how we watch the flowcharts and diagrams presented to us. But at the back of your mind, we all wish that we could establish such very systematic and ideal processes in our respective local government units, not only for the BPCO, but for other services we have at the LGU level. Kumbaga, sasabihin natin, at siguro nabanggit ninyo habang pinipresent yung situation sa PPC, siguro napapasabi kayo ng sana all. Yun nga po, sana all. But while we imagine the challenges that we have to hurdle in putting up all these things na pinag-aralan natin, let us also look forward to the gains of these efforts. It was elating to dream about contributing something for our constituents. Dream about the smooth office operations. Dream about increasing revenues. Dream about empowered government workers. Dream about satisfied clients. Dream about progressive communities. And personally, dream about being part of a wonderful legacy. Let us not lose sight of this, so we get inspired as we experience its accompanying pains and hardships. Anyway, it will all pay off and will be paid forward. So let's just keep the fight and keep the faith that we can all together do these tasks. We are hopeful that the implementation of Executive Order number 138 or the full devolution will help solve some of our challenges, particularly personnel complement, because given the vast powers and functions to the local government units, for sure, they will need to restructure their organizational setup. So, I believe that it is an opportune time to have our leaders feel the need to increase personnel complement and other requirements will follow. At the very least, there are options we can adopt, and little by little, we will get there. There is a famous saying from a famous African leader, Nelson Mandela, which I quote, "It always seems impossible until it's done." So before ending, And in behalf of our Regional Director, Wilhelm M. Suico, this is DILG Mimaropa saying thank you to our partners, our resource persons from the Bureau of Fire Protection, Inspector Sir John Mark Babas, and Ma'am Fire Officer Mary Grace Ray, and to our LGU partners from the OBO of Santa Cruz Marinduque, Engineer Rustico Constantino, and from the OBO of Puerto Princesa City, Engineer Pacifico Citias III, and our LGU participants and DILG fieldmen for actively participating in this two-day activity. I would also like to appreciate the efforts exerted by the DILG team headed by our EODB focal person, LGO 4 Ray Ann May Maranan, and her alternate LGO 3 Chelsea Colin Tamayo, and the rest of the captain team of Mimaropa, with a message that our work does not end here. We are one with our LGUs to help them build and achieve their dreams. So that would be all for this day. Thank you very much. Good day, and let us all be safe.
And maraming salamat po, Ma'am Tess, for that very inspiring message para po sa ating mga LGUs, sa ating mga resource speakers, and sa buong LGCDB team. And once again po, maraming salamat sa lahat po ng ating mga participants na nakilahok simula pa po kahapon in this two-day activity. And maraming salamat po sa lahat ng ating mga resource speakers na hanggang ngayon po ay hindi po tayo iniiwanan. So, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat and keep safe everyone.
As promised nga po, we will keep po yung ating Zoom room open pa po So kahit siguro po mga until 1 p.m. And also po once again maraming salamat po sa ating participants, and siguro po a little bit of lang din is a wise person once said, the first step is always the hardest. So, huwag po tayong matakot to take the first step. Thank you po.
But the beginning is considered half of the task done.
Ayan, maraming salamat po, Ma'am Rayan and Ma'am Tess. Mag-iingat po ang lahat. And once again po, open pa po yung breakout rooms. If you want to join, we will be launching the breakout rooms po once again. So if you want to continue the action planning.
Yes po.
So, ayan po. Maraming salamat and keep safe po sa ating lahat.
Yes po. And po, I would like to plug din po yung ating activity on June 30 po. So, magkakaroon po tayo ng rollout ng BPLS, BPCO, yung atin pong business permits and licensing system, and yung building permits and certificates of occupancy monitoring system. So, kasama po ang Palawan at saka Romblon sa ating first batch ng participants. So, ang kasama po dito would be the BPLO, the building official, or kung in lieu po ng ating mga participants na ito ay ang data encoder, or kung sino po yung nag-accomplish po ng ating monitoring forms. And then, kasama din po ang ating mga focal persons sa provincial level and ang atin pong mga MLGOOs. So, we will be posting din po itong ating we'll be sharing din po yung registration link for this activity on the 30th nga po. So see you again po, and we can open na po ulit yung breakout rooms para po kayo po ay makapag-session na ulit. Thank you so much po.